Rover's passion for life. We just supported his team that be bringing them life. But we couldn't.
Y'all knew 93.7 The Beat. Sounds real hip hop and throwbacks. Welcome to Blessed Beatz. My name is Memphis 10.
And it's your girl Alexis Fly.
And we got God's people in the building.
Oh, we got people.
Who we got in here?
Let me tell you, I'm really excited about this one. We have Pastor John and I like to say First Lady, Aventer Gray.
Yeah, meet the Grays. Meet the Grays. Come on. We've been
Hey.
waiting on this one a long time for the people watching 937thebeathouston.com, Faith Television Network. Explain to everybody who y'all are. Now, us people in H-Town, we know.
H-Town. Well, I'm one of the associate pastors at Lakewood Church, and under Pastor Joel Osteen and his wife, Victoria. We've been here 4 years, primarily building the midweek service, and we've seen some amazing growth in that service. People from all over the city and region come, and then we have an even bigger online presence. My wife is the dance director at Lakewood.
Yeah.
And not only that, she runs the day-to-day operations for all the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
And then we also have a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network called The Book of John Gray. Right now, number 2 in our core demographic. We lost only to the NBA playoffs. So for a first-year show to be doing that well in this kind of TV landscape is just amazing. And so it's an amazing show about our family, and how we interact and how we step outside the walls of the church to meet the needs of people. So that's what it is. H-Town, hold it
down. In a world of reality TV shows getting bad energy, when they first came to y'all and said, "Hey, reality show," what y'all think?
Initially, we were a little bit skeptical, but I think the difference with us and what we've seen is that we get to authentically be ourselves. And if we were asked to change that, then we would have declined.
Yeah.
Wow.
We need to be able to say Jesus. We need to be able to say faith. We need to be able to express it the way we are, because we don't know how to be anyone else. And so our friends, John has a friend he's known for a while. His name is Jason Kennedy over at E! News. And he was working on some other projects and just kind of brought it to John's attention that, hey, people should get to know your family. We're like, we're not that exciting.
Yes,
but
we are.
I think so, personally.
I think for me, it was just like, it was somebody else's idea. It wasn't on our radar. We weren't ambitious for it. And it just kind of ended up being a God thing. The way it worked out, it flowed so well. And when we were sure that we could just be ourselves, then that's when we said yes. And we prayed about it. As long as God is glorified in it, that's what we'll say yes to.
I want to back up to Lakewood. So we know that Lakewood is a mega church. It's one of the largest churches in the nation, in which you are the associate pastor, Pastor John Gray. And so my question is, why do people, you said the service has grown, right? Why do people want to listen to John Gray? What is it about you?
I think people know real. And too many times in certain aspects of the faith community, people who are communicators try to use the tool of manipulation. They try to manipulate your emotions, or they try to guilt trip you or shame you into getting with them or seeing them as this big special leader. And my thing is this: I'm just a guy that loves God, trying to figure it out. And people know that. I'm not like up here looking down on y'all trying to talk to you.
Right.
I'm the dude that's having this face-to-face dialogue, and it's like, walk with me and let's figure it out together. There's a difference. And so people, I really do feel real recognizes real. My heart is pure for the message. I don't want nothing out of it. Told God when he called me, I'm going to serve you till I die, and I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it with my personality, and I'm going to be me. And I think, if I get up there and try to do anything else, it would not work. But you got folk all the way from like real drug dealers to real rocket scientists and everything in between in one room. That means they're connecting not just to the substantive aspect of the word, but they're experiencing something that speaks to their soul. And that means I'm being authentic. And I'm not trying to manipulate you. What you do with what I speak is between you and God. But I'm not going to be the dude to try to shame you into it.
John, you said when I got called, take us back to, were you always saved?
I was saved at 7 years old. I knew who Jesus was at 7. My mother was a church pianist at the Bethel Baptist Church in Cincinnati. And at 13, on a Tuesday night, during a revival, I heard the Lord say, I'm calling you to the ministry.
Wow.
I didn't want to. Who wants to be a preacher at 13?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to be a virgin, not get girls. I can't go to the party. Yeah, I'm going to do that, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just take my whole teenage years. Go ahead, baby Jesus. But I knew that God had called me. And I didn't preach until I was 21, but my life was already preaching without me knowing.
So good.
So,
life was preaching.
So what do you say? Okay, so we know, or we kind of talk about how some of the church pews have kind of emptied out, and I think you've done a great job on bringing folks back. But when it comes to the youth, or even our type of audience that listen to hip hop and hopefully now Christian hip hop,
there you go.
What do you think is a way to draw them back in the church? I know that transparency is a part of it, and I can totally see that would be one reason by watching you why I would want to come back to church or even attend. But what is a way that you think people would want to even come in the doors? Like, how can we tackle that as a body of believers?
Well, I think the first thing is it starts with parents. It wasn't an option for me to go to church.
Right.
Now, today's kids like, Mom, I want to play video games. I don't feel good. And the parents like, okay. But it's like, I tried that. My mother was like, you can go to church awake, or you can go to church in a coffin.
I like it. I like it.
So, I think it starts with the things that matter. The moral fabric and the moral foundation of our society is decaying. And it starts with parents who say, I want to put a spiritual root in my children. But I think a lot of parents are weary because they've been to church and they've been sold a bill of goods and a whole bunch of dreams. And they've been in the $50 line and it didn't work out for them. And Jesus is going to fix it all. And it didn't work out for him because it wasn't the word.
Right.
Because really what Jesus was about was serving other people and being grateful for where you are. So it's not about getting rich. And it's not about just walking around with a nice car only or a fat crib. It's about whatever you have is for other people. You're talking about rich. Jesus didn't even have a house. He said foxes have holes.
There you go.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere.
You understand what I'm saying? So, I think people are tired of that. And when they see something that's different, that's real, like on the show my wife just said, we were like, if we can't be who we are, it doesn't matter. I wasn't looking for a TV show. It doesn't define me. I don't need it.
Right.
What I need is for God to say, you're a better husband than you were this time last year, and you're a better father. And when I'm not those two things, that's when I know I need to get my life together. All this other stuff doesn't matter. And I think people are coming to church to hear me and to connect with my wife as well, because, honey, her prayer line be, people come to her because they connect to her. And I think the reason is we are not going to tell you we're perfect. We're going to tell you we are broken and we are relying on the same Jesus we're trying to introduce you to.
Let's talk about social media. You got platforms like Instagram, right, that are making people stars, right, or making people rich, right? For the person or people that are on the fence, let's say women, right, and you said a lot of people are on your prayer line, they come to you, right? How do you talk to them about using your social media and to continue your business if you have a business doing it, and to serve God or to be yourself without sacrificing who you are?
Wow. I think for me, and my husband tells me I always have to tread lightly. I graduated from Florida A&M University.
All right, HBCU.
Get it in there.
Get it in.
I danced at my university. I went to class. Sometimes I didn't. I'm just me. I have tattoos.
I want to talk about that.
I'm tattooed.
And, I had a good time in college and trying to figure out who I was. And I think that sometimes we can be reflective of where we came from. So sometimes when I speak, I'm speaking from a place of understanding where that person is on Instagram. So I will have something in my spirit, and I feel like the Lord speaks to me in very unique and authentic ways as well. And my expression is not that I'm upset. My expression is to offer a different point of view. So when people say, "Wow, I was feeling like that," wow, it's like my husband will be like, "Wow, do you think you shared too much?" I was like, judging by the response, somebody needed to hear it. I don't even know why I felt comfortable. I think that people need to understand that they aren't defined by social media, because social media right now will give people a false sense of importance, and it can kind of get you off into this pseudo world of fame. And to be honest, whether you have one follower or 10,000 followers, what's the message that they're really getting from you? You know, and are you selling out who you really are for people to connect with you? For me, I hope that my platform draws who God wants it to draw and repels those who don't share the same heart. I'm not looking for a whole wealth of following by any means necessary. That's not my heart. So what I would say, if you want to grow your business, and I think you should pray about everything.
Absolutely.
I know it's cliche, but I mean it.
Yeah.
Before you put up something, or before you co-sign for other people, or before you diminish a little bit of yourself for the sake of making yourself look a certain way on social media, I think you should pray about it and be okay with those who may be upset and say they're not following you anymore. You know, it's cool, because the ones that you are called to reach you will reach, and the ones that you're not, then that's fine. I want people to be okay with their authentic selves, because everything's all edited up, filtered up, present the best, on social media. So people are trying to mimic and comparing themselves to all of these different people and what they're doing. But at the end of the day, nobody will show their rollers and crusts in their eye picture. Yeah. They're going to show you the best. Even I found myself going to snap the picture, save it, and then, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about me. Yeah. So I know, I'm like, no, I don't have any makeup on today, so let me fix that so I can. But God's like, you're already fixed. You were fixed when I created you. You were fearfully and wonderfully made when I made you. So it is what it is, and I'm understanding now more than ever that who I am is enough. And I would tell them that who they are is enough before they turn into something else.
Right. That's a word. That was a good word. Pastor John Gray, one thing I love about you, and most people love about your husband, is that he's freaking hilarious. And so I want him to share. We want to talk about a little love and marriage. Yeah. I heard something about when he first saw his wife, and she had these tattoos. It was something about a stripper. Or he thought she was Pastor Gray, if you could, share a little bit on how you and your beautiful wife met.
We were both working at a church in Atlanta, New Birth Church.
I can't.
And I was the singles pastor and one of the youth pastors. My wife was one of the dance leaders. Okay. And so my job was to get all of the youth ministries together, and we would do a presentation every fourth Sunday. So I would have to meet with department leaders. So I would meet her along with some of the other leaders. I didn't know her name, but I knew she was in the dance ministry. Yeah. And, she come in there with her little tiny pants, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Tiny pants?
Baby fat. Okay. Back then it was baby fat.
Okay. That was a trend back in the day.
I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Let me focus on this meeting, though. And then one day, I went into the dance rehearsal. She had on these cut-off shorts. And she had on a tank top and a sweater off the shoulder. Because I'm a brother.
Are you in the dance
I'm just focusing. I just want to make sure y'all was serving Jesus in the sanctuary. And so I go in and I see this tattoo. One is on her arm. It's got some, I guess, Chinese letters or something. I didn't know. Okay. And then there's another one. I saw a little piece, right up in this area, upper chest area.
It was looking up there.
In the upper chest. Up there. Yeah. Well, she had the off the shoulder situation.
She said that. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm watching her dance, and I was like, wow. She dances with so much passion, so much like. And I was like, that's why she dances like that. She's so grateful that God saved her, because she probably used to be a stripper.
I believe that story.
She got tattoos. She's dancing in church.
How judgmental.
Atlanta. Magic with the city. Not that I know, because I just drove past.
Yeah, you know.
What's your take?
He created that whole scenario.
That didn't happen at all.
What's your version?
All the way through to the end. So for me, and this is what I would tell, even when I've had an opportunity to mentor teens and everything, I started with tattoos by looking at a magazine, and Halle Berry had this beautiful tattoo for a movie. Now, mind you, hers was fake. So I took the magazine. Yeah. I was like, I want this because I liked her. Yeah. You know, that's like the whole role model thing and all of that. I took it. Not, you know, my mama did not approve. She's right here at the station today. She was like, when I had it, I had it.
Right,
so she just happened to see it. I hid it for 3 years. But, and then I noticed the next movie Hallie was in, she didn't have it. I was like,
too late.
Oh, wow. So hers was fake. You know, I was like, oh, I got the same tattoo that Halle Berry had, you know. But it teaches you a great lesson while you're following people.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to relate to them and all of that. I just had this thing for it. It didn't define me. I just liked them. I just liked the art.
Yeah.
And never in a million years would I think that God had for me that a pastor as my husband. But then it also teaches that whatever you've been through or whatever you've walked through does not disqualify you from whatever calling He has for you. Yes, I am I don't use the term first lady, but I'm a pastor's wife with tattoos. Does that mean I don't have anything to say?
And let me just say, the reason why, yes, she does. My husband's a pastor. He has tattoos. You know, you had a different life back in there, but even as a pastor, you probably still get a tattoo. I'm just saying, that's my husband. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to also share, you know, your passion for each other as far as how do you balance life, ministry, kids,
and the kids, right?
Like that's a lot.
I mean, the kids. What has the
look
kids?
Pastor Gray over here shaking his head.
Have they realized what they're growing up into yet?
No, they don't know.
Okay,
they have no clue.
Go ahead, babe.
I don't think they have a clue. I think about it all the time. Like my kids, you know, they don't know about having to roll the windows down because there's no air conditioning.
Yeah.
They don't know about rinsing out aluminum foil to keep it for the next day. They don't know about Tupperware glasses for the Kool-Aid to put in your lunch. They don't know about pepper loaf, the nastiest meat ever. Because you couldn't afford ham. You understand?
Wow.
Generic corn chips because you couldn't afford the multi-pack like the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
But ain't that what it's about though? Like we're supposed
to do better for our kids, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they don't have a clue, and I don't want them to. I want them to treat everybody right. My kids don't walk around. I wish they would be disrespectful to an adult.
There you go.
Walk around like they're better than somebody. I'm gonna always remind them where I came from, and she's gonna do the same for where she came from. And I always mess with her because I was like, you got the silver spoon. Her mom and dad, they spoiled that girl. She had a car at 15, couldn't even drive yet.
Why do y'all be mad about that, though?
I'm not mad. I love it because I spoil her now.
All right,
She ain't never heard no in 6.5 years.
All right, Pastor.
I takes care of mine. Whatever
he takes care of the stripper, honey.
That's right.
Well, that's why I call her first lady. I know you don't necessarily use that term, but I say first lady, and really needs to be not first lady because she's the only lady. But she's the first lady and only lady in your life.
Right.
Okay, amen to that.
Well, my daughter would try to be the second lady.
Oh, I like it though.
She'd be pulling up on me.
And I think for me too, we just want them to be as normal as possible. None of, even though your circumstances may change, you're not supposed to change, because just like everybody is happy today, say for instance we have an issue tomorrow, just as quick as they were celebrating, they will tear you right on down to the ground, because that's our nature. That's what people do. So we want them to always focus on the Lord. They'll walk by, they're here because John has a show on TBN, the John Gray's World, which are his messages from Lakewood on Wednesday. And they'll be like, Daddy, is Daddy on TV? And then when they started seeing the commercials for the show, they're talking to each other because their conversations are so precious. Like, look, Theory, that's you. We're right there. We're in the TV. We're in the TV.
I love that.
And then they're back to, you know, drinking rice milk and playing Legos or whatever they're interested in. And they also want to change from us to, you know, Sid the Science Kid or PJ Masks or whatever they're into. But that's what life is. We want them to enjoy their childhood. Our children are very involved. T-ball. My son plays T-ball. He's a piano player. He's going to start basketball. My daughter's an ice skater. She had a showcase yesterday. She's got ballet and jazz, of course. That's mommy.
That's mommy.
And we have to find a way to balance life, because it is not easy. But we think that God graces us for the seasons that we're in. We think that balance is an illusion. It's really hard to find that. But whatever season we're in, we navigate that with our family first, because we'll let everything go before we let us go.
And I think the other thing is that there is no such thing as balance. Because when you say balance, that means two things are weighed equally. And this is not equal to my wife and kids. I wouldn't give it a second thought. I'd leave Lakewood today. I'd leave this show today. If God said your family's on the line. I don't need notoriety. And I'm glad about that. People are like, you faking it. You just saying that just in case it doesn't work out. It's not true. I've always been that way. I never wanted any of this.
If it doesn't work out, that's fine. We did it for the season.
Right.
Yeah, and that was never my ambition. It wasn't like I had a list of things like, I'm going to be a pastor at a big old church one day. I just wanted to do whatever the Lord wanted me to do. But what I have to do is get this right. And be a father.
Absolutely.
Because I never saw either one of those. So what I'm going to do is get that right.
Well, it's too many pastors, just from being in the church who have gone out, they've spoken all around the world, and their families are in shambles at home. And so I really commend you on making sure that your family is first in everything, and that you'll be willing to sacrifice things that are not as important.
And I'm learning that, because I don't want to fake it like I've been that way all the time. At first, ministry was like, don't you understand, girl? I got to do this for Jesus. And Jesus was like, you got a wife and a little son at home, and it's a big house. They get nervous. I'm like, what they nervous for? He's like, fear is not rational all the time. You understand what I'm saying? She's still a woman. She's and we grew up differently. Just because I was isolated and an only child, she grew up in a big old family with tons of cousins that were more like brothers and sisters. So when you're by yourself and you're in a new marriage and you got a brand new baby, a year and a half into your marriage, I got to think about the emotional. I got to think about the chemical, because women, y'all different.
We'll change up on you.
Y'all be happy for like 6 minutes and then
this is a true story.
I'm like, what happened? Who are you? My name is John. Nice to meet you.
This is so funny.
And so I just feel like the balance is an illusion.
But then you have to learn something about your wife in regards to understanding that she has a purpose too. And so it wasn't all about her taking care of your ministry. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that at the beginning of my marriage, I thought that a woman's job was to help a man meet destiny. But when I read the Bible linear, it was like, the woman is to help me. You help me to meet my calling. But then what I realized is we're co-equals, which means she has hopes, she has dreams, she has vision, she has creativity, she has passion, she has this skill set. And when I get outside of myself and start seeing what matters to her, then God's going to show me something else in my marriage. And what I realized is when I stopped trying to control the situation and unlock her, I met somebody new. Because her passion is dance. Her passion is mentoring. Her passion is music. These are things that I was like, oh, well, I don't really feel the same about your passion because it's not my passion. And God was like, but she dropped everything to help you with yours. This woman got 3 degrees in the healthcare field, masters in health service administration, could run a hospital. She laid that down to help me on what I'm called to do. And I can't stop what I'm doing to help her with her dance. I can't stop to push her vision. So, when I've been given the opportunity, I don't just talk it, I sow. I write checks to her vision. I support her vision. And I'm learning how to be a better husband.
I'm going to do this real quick. We never did this on Blessed Beatz. Launching this Blessed Beatz show was difficult because we're on a secular station. Trying to do God's music, God's mission.
And kudos to y'all. This is exactly where you need to be.
Thank you.
All right, so let's play like word association. I'm going to throw a word out. And we're just talking about marriage. Because people get married and they say, I'm the head. So first word, head of household. First phrase.
Responsibility.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Husband.
Okay. So for those people that struggle with,
I already know.
I'm married. I'm the man. I'm the head. You're going to listen to me. Break that down, the head of household.
And submission.
There you go. Word. That should have been the word there. Submission.
That's a tough word in the African American female community.
It's one to another, though.
Can you explain that?
Submission is a gift, I feel like. Let me tell you, it's something about waking up with a man who is the head of the household and knowing that we have food, knowing that our bills are being paid, knowing that he is sowing his creativity, his mind, his body on planes, his heart for God he is not only covering us with, but he's covering the people that God has called him to reach. Submission is a gift, and that's how we as wives should look at it. It is not something that belittles you. It is not something that makes you second, because I know that without the work of my hands and these 8.5, honey, listen, that it would not go down. You understand?
Yeah.
So we have to, I think that husbands should really speak life to their wives, and they will be more, it's the delivery, more able to receive this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. And we could be like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I think that sometimes I'm the man, I'm the head of house, that shuts us down, and it makes us feel that we are inferior. When the truth of the matter is we are supposed to look at it line by line. You are, wives, submit to your husbands in all that you do. What are we submitting to, though? If he doesn't have a vision, if he doesn't have a mission, then what exactly is the submission? Yeah. So, and if he has left it open because he's working, then you step in and you become that head, because you can't let what God is creating fall to the ground for lack of participating. Yeah. That's what a woman has to understand. So I think for me that submission is a gift, and I'm grateful for my head of the household because I'm going to eat.
Wow. Hallelujah.
Next word. Oh, a secular.
That's the word church people use for things they don't understand.
Wait a minute.
And I co-sign.
You just said something right there.
Say that again. Say that again.
Secular is a word church people use for things they don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't understand secular music. Like, what does that mean? Because God created it all.
There you go.
Right?
Now, but
people pervert it.
Yeah, I think that when church people use secular, they mean things that don't immediately stand out and say God and Jesus Christ of the Nazareth right now.
On Calvary.
Well, here's the thing. The power of God is not in his ability to create a universe with his mouth, because he spoke it. Hallelujah. It's that he gave you choice to worship him or not. That's G to me. That's the most amazing quality of God, that I've created all this and you don't even have to worship me. You should. Yeah. You don't even have to be in relationship with me. You should, but you have a choice. Wow. Secular is the other word for choice. That's it. Man. So I can serve God or not. And it's on you. Whatever you do, it's on you. Yeah. Wow. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve it. Yes. But when we get to this secular thing, churches like to cut people off. That's why I don't like using that word, because ain't nobody cut off from grace. Right. You don't get to decide who can and can't come to heaven because of how they living right now. Yeah. It might take them 80 years to get saved. Your job ain't to see the salvation. Your job is to seed the salvation. So even if it takes 30 years of somebody going to church, they can sleep with everything moving. They can sleep with him. They can sleep with her. They can sleep with them. It ain't your business. Your job is to preach the word, love them, give them grace, and let the Holy Spirit do the rest. Wow. Stop trying to manipulate people. People can't stand that, man. Do your job. And then check your house. Because there's some stuff you don't want folk to know about you. So stop judging.
Wait a minute. Pastor John Gray, everybody.
I like the word when he said church people, too. We're going to have to break down that. But you got a book, right?
I do.
Let's talk about the book. The name of it.
It is the #1 book in my house. It's on the bestseller list.
There you go.
In my living room. But it's called I Am Number 8. Overlooked, undervalued, but not forgotten by God. The premise of the book is out of 1 Samuel 16. The prophet Samuel goes to Jesse's house in Bethlehem. He's looking for a king. Yep. Jesse brings in his sons, like, one of my boys about to be king up in this feast. And Samuel sees the first son, and he's about to pour the oil, and the oil won't flow. Goes to the next one, the oil won't flow. All 7 sons, the oil won't flow. He's confused. He said, God, I know you told me there's a king in here. So then he asked this question, are all the young men here? Jesse was like, well, there remains the youngest, but he's outside. The little kid from Cincinnati, from the single-parent household. You know, the little dude with the buck teeth and the bald spots. He's over there in the cut on Tuesday, but nobody really knows him. Send for him. We will not sit down until he comes. And the one that Jesse couldn't see, the one that the brothers hated on, was the one that God chose. So you can be anointed and not announced. You can be called and unseen. You can have gifts and other people not know what you are. You can be hiding in plain sight. David was a king the whole time. They never saw him. And so the book is about, for all the people who have been overlooked and hated on and whispered about and direct messaged about, and everybody thinks they know you, but nobody knows you. This book is for you, because God's about to anoint you in front of the very people that thought they knew you. You're going to go from anonymous to necessary in one moment. You're going to go from, what's your name again, to we've been waiting on you.
God.
You're going to go from where you were to, you got how many shows on TV?
Yeah, there you go.
I am number 8, and 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Yes,
book is out. They can get it
Anywhere
anywhere. And I need
books
you to
are
get
sold.
it.
E-books, Kindle, downloads.
You
And
started
a workbook.
He started talking, he said flow, right?
Yeah, he did say that word.
He did say flow.
He did say that, man.
Don't do it.
What do you think that means? What should we do about that?
Tell them what we do. They can't swing through Blessed Beatz. Now, we're a Christian. We're a faith-based show.
Yeah, so when you come to Blessed Beatz, you're kind of required to do a thing. You kind of have to drop some bars. So,
right.
Pastor John Gray, are you willing to drop some bars in the name of the Lord?
You ain't saying Nathan.
I'm going to drop a beat. I'm feeling old school in my
let's
spirit.
do it.
Right? I'm feeling old school in my spirit.
We think you're going to like this right here.
BlessedBeatz.com. 937 the beat.
You don't know nothing about playing
Meet
rock.
the Grays. Pastor John Gray.
Yes,
Hey.
Give it a pause.
Oh my
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Check it out.
Uh-oh.
Deep in the city, people walk in the streets. What they really need is Jesus up in their feet.
Hey!
Walk like the Lord. Stay in His word.
What'd you say?
Open your mind. Get that word how you heard.
Hey.
Stay in community. Stay up in unity.
Hey.
I bought my wife because she had baby fat and big booty.
Yeah.
I really like that girl. That girl, she rocked my world. I'm not, yes, no, maybe. Now I'm married with 2 babies.
That was so legit.
Blessed Beatz on 93.
Love it.
The show. Tell them the name of the
The
show.
Book of John Gray, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on the Oprah Winfrey Network every Saturday. Every Saturday night.
And they can come to the church house.
Wednesday night, 7:30, Lakewood, Cheesy. Come see you breezy.
And if you're watching worldwide, you can see it online too. Website
www.lakewoodchurch.com.
There it is, Saints. You might be watching this on your desktop, maybe on your laptop, on your smartphone, Faith Television Network. Stretch your hands out to that thing.
Pray us out, Pastor John Gray.
Take us out of here.
Father, I thank you for everybody that's listening and that's watching, and I pray that you will unlock their hopes, their dreams, and that something that was said today will be edifying. And I bind every religious spirit that would say that people who love God can't be on quote-unquote secular stations. It all belongs to you. The devil don't own nothing. He's only leasing until you kick him out. And so we take over the airwaves. Bless every family. Bless every marriage. Bless every young person watching. Give them strength for the journey and vision for the future in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
God bless the beast. We out here.